Yeah. What's up? What's going on? What's good, everybody? That's right. The Boston Source is checking here for, of course, the Sunday, January 19th, 2025 episode of the Boston Source podcast. And I'll get right into it as we have our special guest ready to join in. She is preparing for her pro debut that is scheduled for March 1st. And this is after her being a part of a fight league, which we'll talk about later. Now, she hails from around the New York City area. And yeah, she is the big deal. That's right. It's Brooklyn Barwick. Hey, what's going
Hello.
on?
Hello, how are you doing today?
Doing all right, doing all right. Of course, we're looking forward to you fighting in March. As you're about to have your pro debut. Could you talk about that in a little more detail?
All right, so hello, you guys. My name is Brooklyn, the Big Deal Barwick. I currently live and train out of New York, New York. And I am originally from Laguna Beach, California. And originally, I was an influencer boxer, as we all know, that is literally like taking over the industry. It's a great way to like kind of get your introduction into boxing. And honestly, I want to take this seriously. It's not a clout thing for me. So I have March 1st in Mexico set, and all the
Hmm.
promotion and everything about the opponent, about the promotion that I'm going to be on is going to be on next week. So you should follow at Brooklyn Barwick on all of my social medias to, kind of keep up to date with all of the madness. And yeah, I'm really excited because honestly, it coming from the influencer world, it's a lot of drama, a lot of like WWE style build up. You're beefing with your opponent like, nah, fuck you, you a bitch, I fucked your wife, like that type of thing. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, now that I'm kind of derailing and going into the professional scene, it's more respect. Like, it's all right, let me face off, let me do this. All right, cool, see you in the ring. Boom, let me do the pictures. All right, cool. Let's do this shit. And it's an 8-ounce gloves. So I've like literally fought in every ounce gloves up to 10. So for
Mm.
eights, my hands are fast. I'm kind of really excited to see with this girl to see what to see what kind of damage I can do in those small ounces of gloves. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were talking about the thing as far as like being part of the influencer circuit there and working with that, and like kind of how you were talking about the thing there with the promotion and kind of like it's WWE where it's like, well, let me tell you something, Hulkamaniacs. Oh wait, no, that's too far back and everything like that with the whole Hulk
It's
Hogan
just
type thing and
it's
everything like
too
that.
much. Even like
Yeah.
my last influencer opponent, like respectfully, she got into my head. She did
Mm.
some like deranged bullshit that I'm like, all
Mm.
right. Like that was kind of the fight that I was like, I am removing myself from this industry, not fully, because I do
Mm.
have obviously some influencer fights scheduled as well as my professional fights. But
Mm.
I'm like, I want to be taken seriously. I don't want to be fighting some girls that just get fucked on OnlyFans for a living. Like, I
Mm.
want to be a really good contender within my weight class. So, and just so everybody knows, I'm coming for Francesca Hennessy's head. I want that WBA belt in Britain, and I want to get that WBA belt here. And yeah, like, I don't know. It's just not something I enjoy anymore. I think even when I
Mm.
do those influencer cards and stuff, like I am doing CFN and a couple others, they're labeled as exhibition. So everybody wondering, yes, I can still fight, but it is technically an exhibition. Um, it's just it doesn't sit well with me anymore. It takes a toll on my mental health because they really dig through that shit. They dig through the archives like, oh, when you were 5 years old you did this. Oh, well, I talked to your high school teacher and you did that. It's way too OD. It's like Conor McGregor Khabib shit. I ain't with that.
Mm.
I just want to fight. I want to get my name out there, and I want to earn the flowers and earn the respect within the boxing world, because that's how me and him met, is through actual like traditional Twitter space like boxing stuff. Because I don't know, like y'all influencers, y'all can have the drama. I'ma just sit here and fight, make my money, make my name. And I respect the sport. So at the end of the
Mhm.
day, if somebody comes for me, cool. Like I'll spit back. I've thrown bar stools on Barstool Sports. I've thrown dildos on the WBC card with Chris Cyborg and shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I can get deranged like that, but it's just
Mhm.
I'm 25 years old, man. Like I just want to like actually get my flowers, like do my shit and like box, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. It's one thing to kind of like have that, as you said, being part of the influencer circuit, where it's like no holds barred, anything goes when it comes to trash talk and all that type of stuff.
Dude,
There,
anything
but
goes. They're
yeah, yeah,
deranged, bro.
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. But in the professional circuit, that's a whole different deal, a whole different aspect of it, and that type of thing. But like you said, you're there as an influencer, and you have those hundreds of thousands of followers and things like that. And like, how is like being part of that and building that type of following? Like, what is that experience like being for you up to this point now, where you're at right now?
It's been great. So I had a majority of my following before I got into that influencer circuit.
Hmm.
Obviously they wouldn't have asked me if I wasn't already an established influencer.
Right.
But I did grow some following and grow a lot of haters throughout my 2 years in that circuit. Um, Either way, I love this saying that I came up with. Either way, they're going to watch me. They're going to watch me get fucked up or fuck someone up. There's no in between. Either way, you're watching the big deal. And like, people ask me all the time, like, oh, how do you get on these cards? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm a girl that I believe in God, manifestation, and believe in myself. Point blank, period. And my mom always like installed into me because I was, spoiler alert, I was almost in the Olympics for gymnastics. That's a whole other life. But she always was like, okay, if we're gonna do something, you're gonna do it all. Like you're gonna go all in. You're gonna be the best that you can be. You're gonna be committed. And for example, I'm in Las Vegas right now.
Hmm.
I'm at Michael the Bounty Hunter's house, who is the number one heavyweight in America, and I have like a good established group. I'm excelling at networking. I'm excelling now with disassociating from the influencer world and kind of just isolating myself and actually learning boxing, actually
Yeah.
being in the right rooms and actually like getting the respect and the flowers that I deserve. And I don't know, it's just when I do something, especially like in the influencer world, like I went full in. And sometimes like you gotta crash and burn in order to like learn. It's all trial and error in this sport.
Hmm.
And it's a learn on the job type of job. So it's way different than what people think about it, because obviously Jake Paul didn't get his flowers until 2 years ago. That took him 3 years. All right. He disassociated himself from like, all of that influencer stuff. And I kind of think of myself as a female Jake Paul because his amateur career, quote unquote, because it was amateur sanctioned, even though
Hmm.
it was without headgear, was the Deji fight, was fighting Ansem Gibb. Like it
Yeah.
was that type of thing. So with me, it's kind of the same thing. My amateur career, even though it is without headgear, um, is going on Barstool Sports, going on Influencer Fight League, going on
Yeah.
Crypto Fight Night, and like all of those things. Because even though they're technically exhibitions, technically my I have a box rec from Barstool Sports and
Hmm.
West Virginia Tough Man. So even though it's like a little gray area, it's like that's my amateur career, and now I'm trying to go do the Jake Paul route and like actually just go into it because I love the sport at the end of the day. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like like you said, you've grown a love to the sport, and that made you have that decision to say, hey, you know what, I want to do this professionally. And as you just mentioned there, being currently in Vegas and being there with Michael the Bounty Hunter, there, of course, like you said, top fighter, pretty much top rated fighter in America, and probably one
He's
of
number
the better
one.
fighters
Look
in
on
the
his
world too.
box
You
rec.
know what I
He's
mean?
number one.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually here. Michael and we actually box out of Bones Adams.
Yeah.
Bones Adams, yep, that's my coach. So I have three coaches, actually, technically four. But the people who I work with is Bones Adams, AJ Easley. AJ Easley is the top bare knuckle coach. Then I work with Alex Solomon in New York whenever I am there. He is also on
Mhm.
my team. He is the pad professor. And then I also work with Coach Dave on Coach's Corner in Connecticut because I kind of have a connection with that dude. Like, he's
Mhm.
always going to be on my team. If I can incorporate him as a cup man, as a support system, like, that is my dude. Him and Bones are like my boxing dads, I call him. So I have a really good like team around me. I'm actually sparring at Top Rank tomorrow.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and it's night and day compared to what my influencer team was, because even though they were technically professional boxers, they don't have the experience that all of the people that I just named have. So it's night and day. Like, these people are taking me serious, and it's not even just like a money thing. I've literally met Bones 5 years ago, way before I even decided to be a boxer. It's comes around full circle, and it's not like I'm leaving New York at all, because I still have my apartment there. I'm buying a house over there, and now I'm getting an apartment here. But it's
Mhm.
like, things with Team Brooklyn is actually elevating, and it actually took me, like, again, trial and motherfucking error, to finally be like, okay, well, that team says I can't do shit. All right, now time to prove these motherfuckers wrong. And it's now like I'm with Agnesa Kirakosin, Julio Tenori, Sanisa Superbad. Like, the people
Mm.
who I'm around now, it's night
Yeah.
and motherfucking day. And it's no like talking shit on New York, because I love New York. I'm not from
Right.
there, but my federal name is Brooklyn. And I'm always gonna have a love for the city, but it's just sometimes you grow way too much in your environment. It's like when a turtle or a fish like gets too big for their cage, you have to
Mhm.
upgrade the fucking cage. So that's what I had to do. So,
Mhm. As the saying goes, sometimes if you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you.
mhm.
And you pretty much got to that point there, being in New York and now, being over in Vegas, and you just named like a couple of gyms there, not just there with Bones Adams, but going into the top ranked gym, you see all of the people that show up at their gym over there in
I'm
Vegas. So
excited for that
hey,
actually. I'm getting some dog work tomorrow. My
yeah.
coach literally, like, Bones had to be like, all right, we're gonna walk in there. You're gonna do your shit. He's installing belief into me. Love him. But he was like, you gotta do your shit. Like, this ain't just like New York. This ain't New York. You gotta, like, because Vegas, everybody and their goddamn mother flies in to get work here. Even people in New York. People in New
Yeah.
York literally leave New York because once you get used to a style, it's like, okay, I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna do an uppercut flurry combo, come up with a hook. Okay, cool. Now I want fighters that are gonna kind of test my limits, kind of put me in my place. Cause I'm not even
Mhm.
gonna lie, I'm kind of a cocky motherfucker. This is why I got big deal. It's
Yeah.
a jab at my height. I'm 4'11", but it's also like, just like I named earlier, throwing dildos, throwing bar stools, and like kind of blowing up on social media. I make shit a big deal, whether it's
Mhm.
positive or negative. That's what it is. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really fucking excited to like actually expand my cage, change my environment. I got literally 10 flights booked back and forth from New York cuz I have to like deal with a couple things, and then obviously like I got to deal with getting a new house, getting an apartment here. It's insane, but like my home state like 4 hours away is on fire. Like, there ain't no way I'm going to buy
Yeah.
a house over there.
Yeah, yeah,
Love you,
definitely can't
Cali,
do that
but
now. But yeah, nah, that
that
yeah, that
fire
ain't gonna work.
insurance, that seems too much for me. All right, maybe if I get a family, like, I'll move back to Malibu. That's where I went to school.
Mhm.
But for right now, I think Vegas is a vibe. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a vibe there, Vegas, or if you go, outside of Vegas, Henderson's not that bad either, and everything like that. But like you said, having all of the stuff that you were able to do in the influencer circuit, I pretty much like say, hey, hate me or love me, you still watching me, and that's pretty much what it
I
is.
know, dude. My haters, literally, let's like derail this for a second. I love how you said hate me or love me. Like, I'm still gonna be here. There's a meme that Nicki Minaj says, "You can't get rid of me, bitch. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going no fucking where." Because it's true. It is so goddamn true. Because, like, how is it that I'm on a Roy Jones Jr. card in London in April? How is that? I don't know. I got spoon fed my career. I'm in the right rooms, like I've said, like with the people that I'm associated with. And I'm
Mhm.
about to, and this is a Boxing Source exclusive, I'm about to sign a multi fight deal with a big promotion. Like me or hate me, people love me. Promoters love me. I put butts in seats. Every single United States card I've been on, even though it's been influencer, I have sold out. The London ones, maybe I've been like a 20 percentile. I would have to look at those statistics,
Mhm.
but like still in my home soil, the United States of America, I am a big deal and I'll stand on that shit. Like me or hate me, I'm still here.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now I want to give a shout out to those that are on the live chat here on YouTube. Shout out to Triumph Fitness and Boxing saying
Oh my God,
Brooklyn
that's
in
Eric. That's
the
my
house.
nutritionist. Eric is on my team too. We love him.
And we got Katie Kicks here says, yo, let's go Brooklyn. That's right.
Let's
So
go,
Brooklyn, the
baby.
queen of boxing. And shout out to A Brizzy in the building. We got my guy Tim Layton here in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Bruce
Salute,
Gas,
motherfuckers.
Boxing Jazz and more says, what's up? What's up? And of
What's
course,
up, fam?
you know my guy Matt from Brunch Boxing says, salute to
I
the
love
Boxing
that
Court
man.
from
He was
Brunch
literally on
Boxing.
the phone with me before I boarded this flight. I was like, yo, great quote is like, there's no time but the present. And like, we've talked about this, me and Matt, because he
Mhm.
says the same thing. He was like, bro, you need to chill on a couple things. Like, I hired a publicist. Shout out my publicist, Emily. He's like,
Emily?
bro, we got to scrub you clean. And then you're going to do great things because fucking I'm around great people. Like, why not? Like, if I can provide like things to like my people, awesome. I'm like such a collaboration over competition person. I don't want to
Mhm.
be competing with you. I want you at my table. Like, point
Yeah.
blank, period. The only time I'm competing is in that ring.
We got Coach Dave, Coach Corner there from Chance Boxing. He says, "Don't
That's
sleep on
that's
this
my
young
dude.
warrior."
Yes, Coach Dave. I just talked about you if you were in the live.
Yep. And like you were saying, you've been able to, like I said, sell out here in the States. So hey, that's part of it. Being converting to being a professional boxer is definitely being a professional and just bringing those butts in the seats. That's pretty
Butts
much
and
part
seats,
of it.
bro.
You know what I
Promoters don't
mean?
give a fuck, bro. It's like, how many tickets can you sell? All right, I can sell X amount of tickets. How many pay-per-views? Oh, like I have a digital audience, so I'm very much a pay-per-view seller. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, well, I can sell about this amount because that's what my statistics are. I always go above and beyond for my promoters. If they take care of me, I take care of them. I also have a lot of sponsors like Nesquik, Hayabusa, Alien Guards, Adams Boxing, which I just signed to, and GT Boxing, and like just a bunch of other things like Teep Territory, Skip to Health PT, Eric, and obviously Dave, which we already said. I have a lot
Mhm.
of people, like a lot of people that actually give a fuck about me. So it's
Mhm.
like, at the end of the day, it's if I can bring them money to like where like Nesquik buys a freaking sponsor slot or Adams buys the sponsor slot on whatever
Yeah.
card I'm on, we all eat. Period. And if I didn't say you guys in the sponsorship deck, because I respectfully have a lot of sponsors, I'm sorry. But if you are Team Brooklyn, you know damn well I love you. Mwah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, in our, there a few minutes ago, you were talking about, like you said, you have something there, getting an apartment in Vegas, and thinking about, buying something there in New York. So you be going back and forth a whole bunch of times. Like, how do you
I
handle
got
that?
so
Because,
many
like for
flyer
me,
miles.
hey, listen, frequent flyer miles. For me, it'd be about 4.5, 5 hour flights and all that type of stuff. And sometimes you might want to catch a couple naps or two while you're on the plane and that type of thing.
No,
So
and I'm 4'11", so even if I get a middle seat, I'm like this, and I'm like,
hey,
oh. Oh, and
hey,
also shout out to Feature Fans because Feature Fans got me a lot of those flyer miles, respectfully.
oh well, for sure. Cause hey, like you said, you're there at 4'11", but me, nah, I'm like one of them giants or whatever it is. So I have a window seat. I don't bother nobody. I don't have to get up for nothing. I just sit there, and then if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. So I mean, it just
Oh
be
my
like
god, the
that.
amount you would like literally croak at the amount of overnight flights that I have booked. You're like, "Oh my god, are you going to like sleep?" Yeah, I'll sleep. And even if I don't sleep, that Uber from JFK to my house, oh, good night.
Oh yeah. That JFK ride too it'd be crazy from going from JFK Airport too, for sure. Now,
My favorite
um,
airport, respectfully, is
mhm.
Newark, but a lot of the cheaper flights are out of JFK, so JFK could hit it right now.
Yeah. Newark ain't bad at all. Like I think if people don't like, they don't know like Newark is a really really good airport actually, especially even
Mhm.
for like international flights there too, or like cross country flights. But a lot of people just gravitate towards JFK, but Newark handles like everything you pretty much need if you want to. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Like my manager in the United Kingdom, I'm still looking for a U.S. manager, so hit me up if you got that. He always gets me into either Gatwick or Heathrow. Oh my god, bro! To get to London, it's like the same amount of time as if I was going to Vegas. So.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I fly from like I'm in the Washington D.C. area, so I go from like Dulles Airport over to the UK or London there, and it's about about a
It's
good
like,
way.
hey, Rev, I need a taxi.
Yeah. It's crazy. It'd be crazy there sometimes. Now you're talking about there, of course, being in Bones Adams gym there. What is like a couple things that you worked on at that gym that has you eager to get in the ring for your pro debut coming up?
Oh my god. So actually this is so funny because today Bones opened up the gym for me. Love you Bones if you're watching this. He doesn't do that for a lot of people, so I'll take that
Mhm.
special princess treatment. But today we were just working on basics and like my freaking jab, bro. Like because I'm a power puncher. I throw my punches in bunches, but however, because I'm 4'11", the girls that I am going to be with are taller, and everybody is going to be taller than me. It's something that I have to adapt to. I don't
Mhm.
like tall people, but I'll freaking knock him out. It's fine. But he's currently working on my confidence because, like I said, my influencer team, they all disrespect, they were trash compared to Bones because it's like, okay, to build up a fighter, you need to start from ground zero and then go. You know, I
Mhm.
just was 100 real quick. I didn't go from 0 to 5 to 10. Like Bones is like, all right, you got a foundation. Let's work out the kinks. And today it was just all bam, boom. All right, turn that hook. All right, snap that job. Like it was just all things that I personally needed. And Dave and Pad Professor Alex, they have worked on that as well. But now it's just sponging it in, getting out all of the fucking bullshit that I learned,
Mhm.
and just kind of like it's just kind of building up my confidence because I know I can do it. Like I said, I've
Mhm.
manifested every single thing that I have. Even my pink apartment in New York, manifested that shit. I've manifested everything. Manifested that Roy Jones Jr. card. Manifested everything, but now it's like, okay, we have the platform, we have the sponsors. Now it's time to look fucking good. And if I'm literally getting put under the wing by these people, especially with Coach AJ is gonna push me. And
Mhm.
it's 4:55 here in Vegas. At 8 o'clock, I'm in the trenches in Henderson, bro. So you think about going from Summerlin to Henderson, completely different vibe. Um, it's just now, honestly just putting it all together, putting everything
Right.
I've learned, meshing it together, and making sure March 1st is 1-0. I have no doubt about it. I am going to be 1-0. But
For sure.
fuck all of that bullshit from the influencer world. Especially, I think AJ said it the best. AJ said, why are you worried about like those influencer losses? Why are you worried about the draw that you had on the WBC card? That is your amateur career. You think that freaking Kermel Motion is like tripping about losing to Zaquin back in the amateurs? No.
Right.
What he's thinking about is how he's going to elevate, and how now that Zaquin is like in the freaking pros, this is the same with him. And Zaquin and Kermel are my friends. This is why I'm
Mhm.
speaking on them. But
Mhm.
it's like, all right, now we're in the pros. Now this shit is actually real. Now it's okay. How can I elevate? How can I do all the things that I'm supposed to do? That's what I need to like kind of put in my brain. It's like, all right, nice. We did that influencer shit, pseudo amateur career. Now, how the fuck do I get to Francesca Hennessy to where I am a contender for her to swipe her WBA belt? That's what I'm on right now. So
Yeah, gotcha. And those are, yeah, you said great names there with Kermel Moton and Zakeem Moses. Like I seen,
I love
Kermel
those
Moton.
boys. I didn't know they were beefing because I'm both of their friends. I didn't know they were beefing until, or beefing or whatever. I don't know. That I
Yeah,
didn't know
I
that they
mean,
were
they've been,
competitors until I was
semi
on
rivals
Twitter.
there, in the amateurs, and then Kermel Moton had his pro debut in Vegas, and Zakeem Moses had his pro debut over in Philadelphia. So, and they've been, doing their thing here,
I
so
didn't know they
far
were
in the
competitors
professional.
until a Twitter space. I was like, I'm friends with both of you. Personally, if they ever like run it back in the pros, I would love to see that. But
Mhm.
like, I didn't know like that background. Again, I'm like 2 years into boxing. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that my friends literally like 3 or 4 years ago like went against each other? I don't know, but they did. So run it back, guys. Run it back.
For sure, for sure. Now, on your page there on IG, right? Because of course, you've been ready and preparing for your debut. But I think like one of the posts there said that, hey, you're skipping a holiday because you had to like cut weight there to get ready for your pro debut. So, how's the progress on that? You know what I mean? You had to skip
Oh
the
my
dessert,
god.
all that type of stuff, and you know what I
This
mean?
weight cut is ass, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. So, for my body type, I gain and I lose fast. So, like I said prior, I kind of had to switch teams, and thank God I did because I'm the type of person I'm loyal to the soil. Like, I will hold on until somebody literally has to chop off my hand, type shit. So,
Mhm.
I kind of was like in my feels. I was like, oh my God. I went to England and I went to Vegas for my birthday and for Thanksgiving because they're close in holidays.
Mhm.
And I skipped those holidays to weight cut to get like some different looks. I sparred in London. Peter McDonald at Fisher's Boxing took me under his wing and was like, "Yo, I will give you pad work. You do whatever like your heart's desire. Just make sure you're at the gym at this time. I will get you work." And he's the one that actually installed Francesca Hennessy into my brain, so I blame him. And I was just like, honestly, I was just in a mode. And especially because I was traveling from Vegas to like London, I was like, fuck it. I'm in Vegas. All right, let me eat some food. Let me drink. Then I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm in like London. Let me get some Nando's. Let me get that Tesco. Oh my God. I wish I didn't do that because now it's like, I need to cut, I think, 15 more pounds. It was 13, but I did not know that the airfare like blows you up. So I can lose it. I know I can. It's just ass. Like, I don't ever want to blow up that big ever again. I was resting at 124 when I was
Mhm.
doing my influencer shit and I was competing at 120. Now
Mhm.
I blew up to 136, and the most I've ever rested at was 130. So it's like, all right, that extra 6 pounds, that's a lot. Let me reel it back in. Let me go
Mhm.
into that sauna. Let me run my shit. And like, it's not that far. Michael's place is not that far from like Bones, so it's like cool. But
Mhm.
like, I be running. I'm like, all right, cool. But then I see Dutch Rose, and I'm like, all right, Brooklyn, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah,
that. Have some willpower. Why won't you?
yeah, but see that this is what you got to do in order to get there to get to face Francesca Hennessy and I don't know, like I said, probably give her first loss. Of course, currently she's undefeated, but yeah, you want to be there to the point where you're going to be the one to give her a
Yo,
first loss.
so I respect the absolute fuck out of her, and I think that it would be a good fight. That's why probably not this year or next year. It would probably be like 2027, 2027, maybe the end of 2026. Honey, I'm coming for that belt. Or we could do WBO, IBA. Like, we could do whatever your fucking heart's desire. Sanctioning fees, all that stuff, that ain't a problem for me. Just give me a fight. Give me something where I can say, win, lose, or draw, I went up against the top contender in Britain. And I respect the absolute fuck out of her. And it's funny. Everybody's name is Michael in this industry. I don't get it because her brother is named Michael and he's also a pro boxer. I was like, you know what? The house that I'm staying at for the Roy Jones Jr. card where they booked me is right by
Mhm,
their gym. And I DM'd him. I was like, hey, can I get some pad work? Pads are not going to derange my game plan. It's just I
mhm,
kind of want to see what the vibes are, you know? And it's like it's all respect at the end of the day. I'm not gonna go in and say, nah, fuck you, Francesca Hennessy, you a bitch, because she hasn't
mhm,
done anything to me. The only
mhm,
reason why I want her is because A, she's number one in 120, and B, I think it would be a good fight. Like, period. Even that Brazil girl that she just went against, like where she got the belt, like that
mhm.
girl was undefeated as well. But if you think about it, that girl's gonna think in her head the rest of her fucking life. Damn, like I really went up against a heavy hitter, and it was Francesca's birthday too. So she
Mhm.
technically went against a 19-year-old. So Francesca's 20 now. So it's like put that in your brain, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was able to handle business there to get that win there in October, last October. Now
Dude, she's
you
raw. That's my dream. But hey, anybody else in 120, I'm coming for you. The most I'll ever go is like 125. I'm thinking,
Mhm.
hear me out here. I'm 4'11. I'm thinking about going all the way down to flyweight because I can cut all the way down to 109. Like
Mm.
it won't kill me. Maybe like 100 would kill me, but 109 won't kill me.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, hey, you'll be able to fluctuate your up and down those weights. You just wherever you're going to be comfortable at in the pros. There, that's where you're going to be able to handle business at.
I
You were
think
talking about the.
15s and 20s I'll compete a lot in, but
Mhm,
flyweight I do want to because there's a lot of vacant slots there. So if I can get some flyweight girls, like fuck it, whether it be in Mexico, Brazil, the United Kingdom, here, fuck it. Team Brooklyn will fly anywhere. Just hit my line.
Yeah, yeah, and you talk about that thing there with Team Brooklyn Boxing and that movement because you know it's not just also your page. You got the thing there with Team Brooklyn Boxing, so you'll talk about that movement as well and having that following on your journey.
Okay, so Team Brooklyn Boxing is something that I made up around my barstool appearance. I started abbreviating BKLYN because
Mhm,
in my first influencer match before Barstool, my friend who is like a professional joint roller, she has a following, and I started signing just like how I would just was anything like signatures, like bank statements, everything. I was just signing and she looks at me. She's like, "Brooklyn, you're dumb." I'm like, "What do you mean I'm dumb?" She's like, "You realize somebody can copy and paste that and take your identity?" And I was like, "Shit, you right? Oh my god, no wonder the girls in porn have a different name." And I was like, "All right, well, what do I do?" She was like, "I don't know, make alter ego and Elias or whatever." And I was like, all right. So I started going by BKLYN. And I was like, all right, so that's how I sign it. Cool. 2 stars, maybe a smiley face. And then after Barstool, they just kept calling me, Dave kept calling me Brooklyn, Brooklyn. And I was like, no, it's not Brooklyn, Brooklyn. It's either BK or Brooklyn. Like, come on. So after that, I was like, yeah, nah, we ain't doing that. So PJ, who is Overflow, he was a YouTuber. He was like, we were at Misfits '09 in England, and he looked at me. He was like, why don't you start going by Big Deal? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, Brooklyn, you're small, and like just like I said, you make everything a big deal. Like you come with traction, whether it be positive or negative. Like just do it. So then I started going by Big Deal. And this is where I actually met Carmel because he DM'd me. He was like, hey, you have my name. And then I like responded with a Uno reverse card. I was like, actually, you have my name? What do you mean? So that's how we started our friendship. And I don't know, like Team Brooklyn Boxing is just kind of a movement to where it's like, okay, cool. Like, it's Team Me. Like, if you are on Team Brooklyn, like, you all right, you at the table. And then Big Deal is kind of like my alter ego to where it's like, okay, like let me just do my villain arc, but let me not associate it with Brooklyn because Brooklyn
Mhm.
and Big Deal are two different things. Like right now, this is Big Deal talking. And
Mhm.
like we had like a couple conversations on like the phone and stuff. You can hear like Brooklyn come out like, hey, like how you doing? I'm a very nice girl, but if you fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you back. Like, y'all can't like get rid of me. So
Mhm.
that's kind of like where it all started. It's just, bro, I needed like an alter ego. And I was gonna go by the villain, but I was like, I don't want everybody to automatically think I'm like some joker or something. So Big
Mhm.
Deal stuck. And I know people change up their names, but I don't think I'm gonna change up this name because I do like how it rolls off my tongue. Brooklyn, the Big Deal Barwick. So
Yeah.
Carmel is Big Deal. I'm the Big Deal. So
Yeah, so yeah, I know y'all are gonna be going back and forth between that name for a good little while
bro, if
here.
I see him in Vegas, I'm gonna be like, yo, Biggie is here. Stand the fuck up, bitch.
I don't know, because hey, if I'm not mistaken, he's supposed to have a fight scheduled for February 1st in
Yes,
Vegas.
on the
And I'm like,
Benavides card.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I will be going to the media day because my publicist works with Benavides. I will be going to the media day to just kind of like see the vibes. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I really just want to like look at everybody and be like, yo, like what the fuck am I getting myself into when I'm pro? Like,
Oh, you will see. Trust me, you will see how it is there for that fight week. It's gonna be awesome there during
I
that
can't
fight
wait
week
to
for that.
see him
It,
because
it,
honestly, my stepmom and my dad live in Mexico and they're really big fans of Benavides. So
mm,
I'm really excited to if I meet him, I'll be like, "Yo, what's up, man? Like, how are you?" But I'm just excited to see how like a traditional press conference is because obviously on like Misfits and like all those influencer
well,
cards,
yeah.
especially on Barstool, they were like in my ear,
Hmm.
like, "Can you do something? We need
Hmm.
content." Like I'm one to like go past like a million views. Like that's fine. Like
Yeah.
me throwing a stool that got 4 million views. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But it's like I don't want somebody in my head like, hey, or in the back of my head like, hey, like, can you do something? Like what the heck? Like we need views, we need this, we need that, because that's what I said earlier. It's a WWE type style of a sport. And
Mm,
I completely agree with Jake Paul. I did it like a couple months ago, but now looking at it, influencer boxing is a completely different sport because there is a big skill divide, and I don't give a fuck what all those influencers say. Like there are some I will give like the flowers to, like my friend Aria Wild and my friend Carla Jade just fought a BKFC pro like yesterday.
mm,
Those girls are heavy hitters and like take this shit seriously. The other girls, I'm not too sure about. I'm
mm,
not too sure about because when I look at them, I'm like, are you fucking for real? Like, why are you doing this sport? It's a cash grab. Like multiple people, especially like my like last influencer opponent was, oh, I'm gonna be in here for 2 years and dip. The
mm.
fuck? I got a 10-year career. Why are you here for two? Why are you here for two? Oh, like I'm gonna start charging my purse like 10K. Bitch, you ain't even worth 10K. The fuck? It's the entitlement that gets me. I'm like, are you
Mm.
fucking for real, bro? Like, come on.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're gonna get a little bit more of a toned down thing there while being a professional boxing. But when you do attend this thing here for Benavidez versus Morel, I know you mentioned the thing there for the press conference, but the previous couple of press conference and face offs that they had is a little bit more like what you've been dealing with here, as being part of influencer boxing. But I'm
Bro,
telling you, a lot of people are going to be excited for that bout that's coming up
I'm
February 1st. So
excited.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
purchase
So
some tickets. If I can, I'm gonna purchase some tickets and I'm gonna watch that because I want to see like Carmel, I want to see Benavides, I want to see like a bunch of people just box. The thing is
mhm,
with me is I'm gonna have to learn how to stare at somebody and not laugh. I don't know what it is with
mhm,
me, but I can't look somebody in the eyes. Like it's not even like a disrespect thing or like,
mhm,
oh, I'm scared. No, I just dead ass. I don't know what it is. I just look and I'm like, I start laughing. I don't get it. But now
mhm,
I'm gonna have to like look and be scary, like, bitch, I'ma fuck you up. Cause that's what's going through my head. But then
mhm.
it's like what comes out of my mouth is you're funny. Like
Well,
that
yeah.
type shit. I'm like,
But
bro,
at times, yeah, but at times that can happen there in these professional fights. So it's either you could be like ha 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 ha, or sometimes even in a professional setting, you could be like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah, that does happen
I
there in
try
the
to like
professional sense.
measure, like whenever I do a face off, I try to measure like
Mm-hmm.
how long my arm is to them. Because again, like I said, everybody's taller than me. So if I
Mm-hmm.
can like I know like on the WBC card for Crypto Fight Night, I like did like a little uppercut. I was like, oh shit, okay. I fucked her outside of the ring and in the ring, bro. And then she got fucked when she got home on OnlyFans. Like, bro, she was just getting fucked left and right by me. And I respectfully am coming for that belt when I go back on CFN. And Chris Cyborg is gonna go up against Clarissa Shields, and she's gonna dog walk her.
Now that was I was going to mention something about that because I know that you were part of a card there with Chris Cyborg and you were working
Oh,
alongside
I
of
will
Chris
stand
Cyborg.
on this. I get it. The girl's a goat, but Chris will
Mhm,
actually give her a run for her money. I know the girl.
mhm,
Like, she's gonna give her a run for the money, whatever, do all the business stuff, agree on the weight. But Clarissa, this is coming from the big deal. Just take the fucking fight if you think it's easy. Like it's a easy payday. Chris got a fan base. You got a fan base. If you think you can dog walk Chris, take the fucking fight. If not, you would duck. Point blank. Period.
there y'all go. Y'all heard the message right there. Y'all heard the message right there, right? All right.
Like
Now,
it's not that hard. Like I was even talking to Bones about this actually today, and he was like,
mhm,
"Well, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense." Okay, but hear me out here. Clarissa is undefeated in the pros. All right, if she thinks it's really that easy to go up against Chris, in my brain, if I thought somebody was easy, I would take that fight like that. It would be like, "All right, cool. That's an extra pad for my record. All
mhm.
right."
And
Like
the people want it. Hey, you
the
might as
people
well go
want
ahead and
it.
get
Like
it. Hey, use money.
I know the people want it, and also I have a very close relationship to Chris Cyborg's team. Not really to
Mhm,
Chris because we know of
mhm,
each other. We have like our little video for Crypto Fight Night to where we
mhm,
found out that we're from the same area type thing. But I'm
mhm,
like, okay, like I talked to her management. Her management was like, yeah, like I think it's a weight issue, and I'm like, bro, just think of a weight and then go. Like you both can sell out fucking tickets and pay-per-views. There's no fucking doubt on either side that Chris can't sell pay-per-views or Clarissa can't sell pay-per-views. Both of them
mhm,
can. They have unique fan bases. But at the same time, I'm like, come on. I think it's Clarissa. It's no disrespect, but like I think that if she thinks it's a fucking easy fight, just fucking take it. Like god damn, you're gonna be cocky and like call out all these men, then fucking take a fight with a heavy hitter too. It would be a brawl. Now I can't say like about the Flint, Michigan girl that she's going up against on the first. I think it's the
So
first.
it's
I don't
just
know.
second. Daniel Perkins on. That'll be on the second.
Oh, the second. Okay,
Mhm,
sorry for butchering that. I can't really speak on her because I haven't seen Miss Perkins' like career. But what I can speak on for Miss Cyborg is like, bro, she's dedicated. She's a declarative athlete in fucking MMA, judo, boxing now. Like, come on, like Clarissa, just fucking take the fight. Just take it. Like, you
mhm,
want some money? Maybe I'll put some of my sponsors on the fucking card. Like, come on. You think it's easy? Just fucking take it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
the word from the big deal. Just
yeah,
fucking take it.
that's it. That's why they call you the big deal right there. That's why they call you the big deal. Now, you like I mentioned the thing there with Chris Cyborg again. You mentioned also being around Warrior Jones. Who are like other fighters or mixed martial artists or whatever it is that you've been around that stand out to you?
Okay, so obviously Chris. I would say Agnesa Kirakosen. She's the bare knuckle world champion. That is my best friend. You can look up her spar. I did terrible and I was in Southpaw. That was my first spar ever. It's on YouTube.
Hmm.
Agnesa really stands out to me. Babyface Assassin stands out to me. Obviously my goat, Katie motherfucking Taylor. All right, I will debate. I am a hardcore fan. I will debate that that is my female goat forever. Who else? Sanisa had a good career. She's now retired though, so happy retirement. Um, Big deal. Got to bet on yourself. Um, Killer Mel. Killer Mel was my sparring partner for my influencer
I
debut.
gotta get her on the show. I've been talking with her for a little bit, but I gotta get her on the show though.
I
You know what I
will
mean?
definitely hit her up for you because she is so sweet. I think she moved to Philly recently too, but
Oh,
she's
okay.
originally from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and then who else? Miyu Yashoda, she's really good. She's also training out of New York. Um, yeah. Oh, and then Alejandro Guzman from Tijuana, Mexico. I met her when I did like my first ever influencer debut. There was like a translation issue because poquito español, like I said, like my stepmom's from Sinaloa. I was grown up in that like environment, but like my Spanish was so choppy that she thought that I was in her weight class for her pros. And she was like, "Oh, you want to fight?" Oh, and I was like, "No, honey, I'm not fighting you." And then she dropped Rama Ali. I personally think that Rama Ali is overhyped. I think
Mm.
that Alejandro Guzman actually showed heart and soul by dropping her and getting that KOW. But respect to Miss Ali because she got it back in the rematch. But I don't know, like the girls are very much going to take over the world in this, and then you got to give your props to Amanda Serrano. I know she don't like me, all right, but Miss Serrano, if you ever want to run it in 126, I'll be your next contender.
Right. Yeah, we
I
can
know I'm like
we
coming
can
out
get
with
you
all
set
the
that
shots.
up.
I'm like
Hey, like I
Francesca
said, big
Hennessy,
deal, big
Serrano.
deal. See that's big deal right there. You want to have something there. That's what you shooting for. You shoot for Amanda
I'm
Serrano.
shooting
That's
for
where
the
you get it done.
motherfucking stars, bro. I'm shooting for the stars.
Yeah.
And I'm a star. So you kind of have to explode in order to make a star. And I feel like with all of like my fucking bullshit on social media, I feel like the explosion actually made me a diamond in the rough. You know? Because everybody, even in like New York, wouldn't respect that I was a fucking influencer. Valid, all right? It's a whole different sport, like we just went over.
Mhm.
But now it's like, all right, not only do I have to show the haters and shit online that I am actually the big deal, but now I gotta show people back home in Laguna, people back home in LA. And then I gotta like show the world that, like, yo, I am actually the big deal. This isn't like an act. Like, I know it's like an alter ego and it is an act for the cameras, like the big explosiveness, but like we doing shit. We actually making it happen. But I mostly just watch guy fighters. I'm a big Canelo fan.
Mhm.
Obviously Roy Jones Jr. is my boy. Shout out to Roy. Thank you for the fucking opportunity and Team
Mhm.
USA forever. And I'm also like really, really interested in Ashton Silves' journey because I know him and his father like very well. They've like taken me under their wing whenever I'm in back home in Cali. So the females, I do believe this year it will be like a bigger like deal, no pun intended, for them to be on cards. But the boys also hold it down because they're the
Mhm.
first ones that were in boxing. So
Word. And the thing is, like you mentioned the thing there about, influencer boxing being a part of it, but also, like you said, some folks aren't necessarily a fan of it and that type of thing. But
I understand it
however,
now. A few
however,
months ago, I didn't.
with one of the folks there that pretty much like had it going there, we witnessed, one of the biggest events of the sport last year with Jake Paul taking on Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
What did you feel about that event there at AT&T Stadium and how it impacted the sport?
Yo, so Jake Paul is the best promoter ever. I am not sponsored by Celsius, but he makes me fucking buy this shit. Like, it's good shit. Like, anything that Jake Paul does, it makes it a big deal. So whether it be like, okay, I'm gonna go and fight Nate Diaz, or I'm gonna go fight Mike Tyson, money talks, bullshit walks, and it says a lot that everybody was doubting that motherfucker. But then he got matches set up with Hasim Rockman. That's my boy. He got fucking Nate Diaz. He got fucking Mike Tyson. I know there's conspiracy that it was rigged. I can't really speak on that because I don't know. I didn't see anything. And personally, like, I was watching it in Brooklyn, like at Eric Kelly's freaking event. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I thought it was a freaking marketing tool to get freaking Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Because if you think about it, this is how I think about it because I'm a businesswoman. The normies that are not obviously big boxing fans are waiting for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. And then you're like, all right, cool. Well, now I have to like go through this fucking women's match. Like, oh my gosh, it was the best match ever. Not That's not a me fucking
Mm-hmm.
statement, but if you think about it, these kids are like, all right, I'm waiting for Jake. Oh, why are these women fighting? Oh, okay, that was the true main event. And then when it went to Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they also made history because I am a big advocate on fighters should get paid more. And Mike Tyson in his career did not get paid what he deserved. He went through fucking trial and error, just like how I did. And now he's a big cannabis advocate, and now he's trying to get back in shape at 6 years old. I think personally, it was good for boxing. I think that influencer boxing is good to a certain extent. Like if you're on
Mm-hmm.
MVP, nice. Like look, Juana from fucking Euphoria,
Yeah.
look at him now. Fucking Ashton Silves. Even though Ashton had a traditional freaking like background and shit, he wouldn't have gotten paid to what he had up until, and even Amanda Serrano, because they have legitimate fucking boxing experience.
Yep.
They wouldn't have fucking gotten the paychecks that they had if it weren't for Jake Paul. Money
Mm-hmm.
talks, bullshit walks. And that's what I always will stand on. And like, fuck. Like, if you can just, like, honestly, at least give him the respect that he's bringing money to the sport. And even, like, with the prince and shit of Saudi Arabia, like, come on. I know people hate it because of, like, all the boxing politics and stuff, but I see no problem in it. Pay us more. Because even, I'm not going to speak on the dollar amount that I get, but I have noticed, like, with my influencer, like, debuts and, like, all the shit I did over there, I got paid more than traditional pros that are respectfully levels above me. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think in general, there's no problem with it. But what there is a problem with is, like, with the bullshit of, like, all right, cool, like, I need you to throw a bar stool. Can you like make something a big deal real quick? We need some views. That's where I get like, okay, is this shit rigged? Like some fights that I was watching on DAZN. I'm not gonna name the network, but if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at those fights. I'm like, dude, that seems rigged. Like, how did the judges score that? Like, I don't know. So I just see no problem with it up until a certain extent. If you fucking like, oh hey, like for I love Dean the Great, but him motherfucker called out Ryan Garcia. I'm sorry, but Ryan Garcia would bather you. You're a great fighter, Dean, but like I would stand on my boy Ryan, like 1,010%. Like that's where I get like, all right, you're disrespecting the sport. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Dean, you should go pro because that's what me and Chase did. That's what Jake did. And I am the first female influencer to make that transition into pro. So you should be the third influencer to transition to pro. Well,
Yeah.
third male influencer.
Sure.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, for sure. But like you said there with Jake Paul, having that impact and being fully committed to the sport, not just with him fighting, but creating most valuable promotions there with Nikisa Bidarian. And you mentioned the thing there, like you said, with Amanda Serrano, with Ashton Silva, with Wanda Walton, and what they've been able to do. And, like you said, with the, one of your idols there, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, not just with, that rematch. I'm talking about the original fight that was at Madison Square Garden, being able to sell out Madison Square Garden there, a few years ago, that built to the point of them having that rematch at AT&T Stadium, and they got paid. They got paid because of having a thing there with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. So
yeah, because female boxing was swept under the rug. Respectfully, it's a male-dominated sport. Shout out to Jake. Bring me some money, yo. Prince Asadi Turkey. I always butcher his last name, so I'm not gonna say his last name. But I'm here. The only
Turkey
thing I will
LLC.
say Clarissa did right is she was like, "Hey, don't forget about female boxers." Yeah, don't forget about me. Big deal. We'll sell out Saudi Arabia too. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, you got Turkey LLC. You got Dana White that's trying to get involved there with the boxing league here now. So you can include, of course, women boxers. They bring the action and everything like that. So you got to have the big deal included in this. There. So we got to see.
I don't care if y'all hate me. I will sell out those seats. Fucking hate me, bro. I don't care. I still sleep soundly. I'm not crying. I'm never crying.
No doubt.
And Big Deal fucking loves this shit. Make boxing great again, bro. I literally have a fucking hat over there that says make boxing great again. I wore that shit when I was like, you're a British escort. You're a disgrace to boxing. Everyone thought it was a MAGA hat. No, it was make boxing great again. Which technically is a MAGA, but it would be MABA. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Make it great again, bro. And then keep TikTok, please. I need my career.
Eventually, no, I think that's gonna come back because I started to use TikTok there for this account, and then they gonna shut down TikTok.
No, it came up like an hour ago, so thank God I can post again. But keep it, please keep it. Whoever's in charge, Trump, the Senate, I don't know politics like that, but please keep it, please. Thanks.
Yeah, no doubt. We're looking forward to what you're gonna have here in your pro debut on March 1st, and like you said, you're preparing there in Vegas, and just be on the lookout here. What is it? It's gonna be a couple weeks, but you might see a giant out there over in Vegas during that week of February 1st. So
a giant? Wait, who are we talking about?
Supposed giant. Well, they consider me to be like a giant or something like that. I'm not that tall.
Oh, you're gonna be in Vegas, bro.
Yeah.
We should link up.
So,
I'm like, I don't know. I know I'm going to do that media thing, but like, I'm gonna just be out here. Like, if there's like press conferences and stuff, if it doesn't affect training, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah,
Bone says I need to be hyper focused. No boys,
definitely.
no freaking nothing.
Yeah,
all right.
So you can't slip up, or I'll make a phone call to Emily and say, hey, you know what she's doing out here now? You
Bro, no, shout out to Emily, like 1,000%, like because she and I, our plan is to get me legitimate in boxing. Again, I am the female Jake Paul. Y'all didn't respect Jake Paul till year 3. All right, I'm gonna build up your trust, okay? You're gonna see me everywhere, whether it be Boxing Insider, the Benavidez fight, the fact that I'm on a Roy Jones Jr. card. Just look out. You're going to see a 4'11" little white girl somewhere, and it's going to be me. I'm going back to blonde, though, so just like, wait. I'm like, it's going to be a whole big deal.
Gotcha. Now, I wanted to, make sure that everyone follows Brooklyn here on this journey there. Of course, she has all of the social media there, Instagram, Twitter. I think hey, TikTok. Yeah, you see, we got TikTok back. we gotta get
At
kicked
Brooklyn
back to
Barwick
the
on all
team.
social medias except Snapchat, but I don't think y'all want my Snapchat.
So definitely want to see everyone follow what you're doing here in route to your pro debut. What's it? Hey, we were able to chop it up for about an hour and everything like that. So
Let's
hey,
fucking go.
hey,
Honestly, this is like one of the best interviews I've ever did. And I know Dave from Coach's Corner is down there in the live feed. He has 22K on his account. Y'all should definitely collab. Like,
yeah, yeah, for
let's do
sure.
that shit.
We're gonna connect on that. We're definitely going to connect on that. Big thanks for joining us here on the Boxing Source. And hey, like I said, whether it's what a couple weeks or whatever it is, we're definitely going to follow up. We're gonna check the progress here and route to your pro debut. Having that announcement real soon on the opponent that you're gonna smash up.
Oh
So
my gosh, I already sent in all of the photos, bro. The same photos I sent you, I'm gonna use those forever. Because like I look so
yeah. Because
proud
I
in
mean,
those.
you got to definitely use those photos because there with that photo shoot, you could chop it up and everything like that. That's the whole thing for
Oh
most
my
for
gosh, there's
promotion.
one, the one
Put it,
that's like this in your
yeah,
thumbnail. Oh my god, I hope they use that one because I look.
yeah. So like you can use that for posters, flyers, T-shirts, all that type of stuff. So definitely want to go ahead and use that. And also gotta mention this too because but on your way to having your pro debut, you're out there, selling products and things like that, and
Yes,
also
I'm
like
selling products with
so
Teep Territory. Please
yeah.
buy the merch. Teep Territory is an amazing small business out of Staten Island, New York, and it's one of the five boroughs. Totally, all of the proceeds, either like I'm gonna chop it up to where a portion of it goes towards like my debut, like paying for training, paying for all of that stuff, and then another portion I'm thinking of. And I've already talked to Sonia, who is the USA Boxing Metro's coordinator of New York. A quarter of those proceeds are going to go into the Big Deal Scholarship, which I'm brokering for the Ringmasters, which is the Golden Gloves. They had to rename it. I don't know that legal stuff, but
Mm.
Ringmasters, whoever the winning athlete is from Fight of the Night, because they give special awards out, they're going to be getting the Big Deal Award. And this is actually something that not a lot of people know. So it's a Boxing Source exclusive. Um, Big Deal is sponsoring one athlete from the winning side of Fight of the Night, and you will be getting 1 year of a USA Boxing Passbook for the amateurs, 1 month of a gym membership. You will be getting a custom mouth guard, which is worth $140 from Alien Guards. Tape and gauze from my sponsors, War Tape. I forgot to mention them, but shout out War Tape. Use code Big Deal. And then you're going to be getting a pair of gloves. And yeah, I'm one to sponsor an athlete, so a portion of those Teep Territory proceeds will go towards that, so we can make sure that we fund an athlete and get them that little push. Because if I could do something for any athletes out in New York, I will do it. And there's a reason why it's called the Big Deal Scholarship, because you got to make it a big deal. Like Fight of the Night's a big fucking deal, and it's not Brooklyn. I don't want any of the flowers from it. Like it's just big deal. Team Brooklyn is doing it. Like I just want everybody to get that little push, you know? So buy
Gotcha.
my merch. Buy my
Yep.
merch. It is linked in my bio on Instagram, both of my Instagrams, and it is the pinned tweet on my Twitter. I'm currently taking a Twitter break, but it's pinned. So click it and make sure you get that little t-shirt because they're cute. It's pink. Who doesn't like pink?
Hey, yeah. So that's the thing there. You can't be scared of pink. I know that there's some haters of pink, but you can't be scared of pink. You know what I'm saying? So
You
you go
can't be
ahead and
scared of pink. Come
yeah,
on, man.
go ahead and click on the link. You see the merchandise that's on there. You go ahead and support. Put in the funds there for the merchandise and you'll help out there.
And shout out
Towards the
to Teep
scholarship and everything
Territory
like
because
that.
they're barely taking anything. They're literally taking nothing because I wanted to charity stuff. So please, if you're on that site too, they're Muay Thai and boxing, all around combat sports brand. Go get some gloves from them. I'm very picky with my gloves and I actually fuck with Teep Territory's shit. So get them. Get them while it's hot.
For sure, for sure. But thank you very much here for taking the time to be on here for the boxing source. Of course, the big deal, Brooklyn Barwick. We're looking forward to a pro debut March 1st.
Coming out of
Y'all
the
check
red
out the social
corner.
media for updates. Get the opponent, and once we have all the details, we'll be able to sort all of that out. So y'all will be able to find out when she does have her pro debut.
March 1st. Keep a lookout. Thank you guys.
Yep, for sure, for sure. So there you go. That is the big deal. Brooklyn Barwick, of course, like I said, March 1st, we'll have a pro debut. It's going to be awesome there. And once we have more details about it, we'll be able to provide that for you here as she is, preparing there in Vegas for that fight and everything like that. Hopefully you were able to enjoy all of the content there that she was able to provide for you. And like I said, if you want any more information, you can follow her there on social media, through Brooklyn Barwick or Team Brooklyn Boxing. It should be Team Brooklyn Boxing there on that front. So that's definitely what we got there for y'all here on this front. So with that being said, now we try to get into it with more content here with the Boxing Source podcast. I know that we have good amount of fights that's coming up for this weekend. I know that you have Nayo Inoue that's supposed to be defending his titles and things like that. And also supposed to have a key fight in the super middleweight division there, with Diego Pacheco versus Steven Nelson. So we're definitely going to go through that as well. And also, I kind of like wait, I just messed up that particular part, but I will disclose a little bit of details as far as like the schedule there for Riyadh season. If y'all hadn't really heard it already, there as far as like fights, y'all might have heard about the fights, but you may not have heard about like what the dates are that they're looking at in reference to when they're supposed to have these fights take place, right? So wanted to get into it. Got hold up, but looks like we got something here, man. We gonna have our regular panelists back on here that's gonna join in. I know we still got big deal, listening in here and whatnot, whether it's through here, through YouTube, or whatever it is. But y'all be sure to like hit the share button here for the content here on the Boxing Source. But you'll want to have my guy here, great guest. Think he may still be, seeing if he'll be out in the scene there for Vegas for that fight week as well. Y'all know him. Everybody know him. It's the Boxing Academic is in the building. What's going on?
How you doing? Just doing well, JR. How you doing tonight, man?
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. We just had great interview here with the Brooklyn Barwick. Big deal. She's about to have her pro debut, and looks like she's planning to have a real active 2025 here coming up. And then we got a lot of stuff that's happening this coming weekend here with the fights and all that type of stuff too. So because we got the thing there with Nayo Inoue defending his titles against Ye Jun Kim or whatnot. But I know you're also looking forward to February 1st there with that Benavidez versus Morrell fight. It's also happening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I watched the interview. Brooklyn got a lot of energy. She seemed like she ready. She ready for it all. So shout out to her.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely a lot of energy. Definitely a lot of energy. Hey, that's part of it. I mean, she's the big deal. So you got to be have all that energy, or else you couldn't really have that nickname if you didn't have that type of energy. You got to be able to be out there. You know what I'm saying? So definitely had it on that front. Now you always talk about the thing as far as like schedule that's coming up. You have Nayo Inoue that's going to be fighting. Defending his titles there against Ye Jun Kim. That's going to be January 24th. It's supposed to have Diego Pacheco versus Steven Nelson. Some of y'all, of course, y'all know about Steven Nelson being part of the camp there with, B&B Boxing, Coach Bomac McIntyre. And, of course, you have Terrence Crawford there in that camp as well. But Steven Nelson has been in Vegas also preparing for his fight there against Diego Pacheco. So that's definitely big on that front. So I'm looking forward to those key bouts that are coming up this week. There now, the thing with Inoue was, of course, he was supposed to fight Sam Goodman, but Sam Goodman, suffered a cut in sparring yet again, so he scratched out of that. So they had to find an opponent, and they found somebody out of South Korea or something like that. They have no idea how they were able to find this opponent. It's crazy because they're talking about this might be one of the worst world title challenges in history. It's crazy there, but hey, they had to make sure that they would have now he went in a way fight and defend his title, so they had to go ahead and get that going and get that over with. And I think that the thing with Diego Pacheco and Steven Nelson, that's part of a Matchroom boxing card, and that's going to be an interesting card there as well. Not just with Diego Pacheco facing Steven Nelson, but you're also going to have Andy Cruz going up against Omar Salcido on that joint there. And as mentioned earlier there with the big deal, Zakeem Moses is going to be fighting on January 25th there in his second professional bout against Alex Paulette. So you're definitely going to have a hold on just a moment, because if I can actually hold on a moment, because you know what, I might have you back on here. Hold on a second. Hey, big deal.
Hi.
Like I said, Zakeem Moses is gonna be fighting again.
He's gonna catch a
January.
body, bro. 2-0 incoming.
Yeah. Now, hey, and this one is there right at the Cosmopolitan there in Las Vegas. So that's going to be coming up on Saturday. So you might be able to catch him there in action.
Bro, I'll text him. I didn't know he was fighting out here. Okay, bet.
That's right. So hey, I mean, you might have to you'll get there pretty early. You might be one of those first fights that's out there. You know what I mean?
Bro, like, respectfully, I think he should be main event, but I might be a little biased, just a smidge. That's my homie.
Yeah. So you might have to send a message out there to him and say, hey, I want to go ahead and see your fights. But yeah, you might be one of the first fights there on the card. Let me see. I got of course, here being part of the Boxing Source, we have our panelists here, and Boxing Academic is one of them here, and I got also another one here. The chef is in the building. Brother Terrell is here. Hold on a minute. Well, I see. Wait a minute. Is that like well, I see about a few slices of oranges. What else is on there, Brother Terrell? What you got on that dish?
Terrell, them some uncooked pancakes. What is that?
No, there ain't no uncooked pancakes.
Wow. That's how you do me.
Oh,
that's how you do me.
God.
I'm joking, Terrell. I'm joking. I wanted to make Brooklyn laugh. That's all.
Oh, I know. No, when he was saying, yeah, I heard what Big Deal said. That's why he was laughing, because I was back here being like, yo, what?
Yeah, for sure. So what's going down, Terrell?
Hey, what's going on, man? Been a hot minute since I've been here, but definitely always tuned in, definitely. So what's going on with you?
All good, man. All good. Just ready to ramp up this action here in boxing. Got like a little bit of a busy weekend. Boxing picking back up here this weekend. Talked about the thing there, but now Inoue coming up. That's on Friday, pretty much Friday on our side here, because we have to be up at about 5 a.m. to actually watch them fight, if you can, on ESPN Plus. And then on Saturday, I was mentioning there with the Matchroom boxing card, Diego Pacheco, Steven Nelson, they're going to be fighting, both of them undefeated there in the super middleweight division. Zakeem Moses with his second pro fight. And you got, Andy Cruz is going to have his fifth pro fight against Omar Salcido. And that's going to be interesting there in the lightweight division. So you got like a good amount of action that's coming up here this weekend. Also, you're going to have Pro Box TV that will have their card, as well as you're going to have Jordan Roach and Ben Johnson that'll have their third professional fights on their Pro Box card. And if y'all didn't check it out, I actually had both Jordan Roach and Ben Johnson on live earlier today for them to talk about those fights as well. That's on Pro Box TV. So definitely a lot of action there coming up here this weekend in the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't anyway finding a late replacement, right?
yep. Yeah, late replacement. Sam Goodman, they were supposed to fight in December. Didn't happen. Then they delayed it, to January. Supposed to be here January 24th. Sam Goodman got cut again in sparring. That's one thing you got to watch out there, big deal. You got to watch out for, folks. They might try to, sabotage some. No, I was just playing. They won't do that here in the professional.
I did learn that because I did get I don't really talk about this, but like I did get jumped like during Christmas time, and they tried to sabotage my shit. I'm like,
Wow. Yeah.
y'all can't do this to me. Let's go.
Yeah. So with Sam Goodman, another cut. He's out of the picture. He's out of the mix. So they have Nairo anyway facing Ye Jun Kim there. And yeah, I just don't understand how these sanctioning bodies were able to approve Ye Jun Kim to fight for these world titles there. But hey, I mean, I guess they get money on that front. So
If he passes, he passes. Like you can't hate the player. You gotta hate the game, bro.
that is true. That is true. There's a number of fighters do be hating the game. I'll say that. But yeah, that's a world title, undisputed super bantamweight world title fight. There they where they're pretty much around your size. There.
I know. I was just thinking. I was like, "Damn, put me in, coach." But I didn't
Yeah.
want to
Yep.
say that out loud because I didn't want to be like a Clarissa and be like, "All right, let me fight the world. Come on."
So yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like who? Like who?
I don't know, Terrell. I think you might have missed it, but we had a segment here with Big Deal, and she was talking about the thing in reference to Clarissa Shields and
I
potentially
mean,
fighting
come
Cyborg.
on.
But
Come on. If she thinks it's an easy fight, I stand on it. Big Deal says, Clarissa, if you think Chris Cyborg is easy, just take the fucking fight, bro. It ain't that hard. It's just a fucking payday for you. You've been doing this for years. Chris is just in the game. We love her because honestly, decorative martial artists, MMA, all that bullshit. So, you think it's easy, just do it. Make your dreams come true, Clarissa. Be undisputed.
yeah, on all fronts. So hey, there you go. But yeah, that's part of the thing there coming up too, as Clarissa Shields has her fight against Danielle Perkins on February 2nd. So that's mainly most of the fight schedule here for the next couple weeks there, man. So like any thoughts on any of the upcoming bouts there, brother Terrell?
Yeah, kind of disappointed with the anyway late replacement. We're just looking for a good fight for this guy. Kudos to him for being who he is, what he's accomplished, things like that. Fighting his home base in China. I'm sorry, Japan, that is,
Yeah.
and it's making that a fortress of solitude for him. Even with Diego Pacheco, right? Just looking forward to see how he's going to progress this year and continue to figure into 168 as that division continues to develop outside of people like Canelo. We're looking for people to step up. Him and Billy, Shiskin, people like that, and everything. So
Yeah.
Skull, all those people. But
Yeah.
but no, but really, I think we're all looking forward to February for the next Riyadh fight season. That's what has so many people intrigued, and even last week when they had the what was that? What was they had last week? The
Oh, that was the
well,
Ring Magazine
yeah,
Awards ceremony
yeah.
on Monday.
That was just a good look for boxing
Yeah.
altogether. So
Yeah, so I mean, I was talking about that last week in reference to what was happening there, and Big Deal was talking about having women involved in that, right? And in the photo, like in the full photo, whatever it is, they did have Sky Nicholson on there. They did have I think it was Gabriela Fandora that was on there. A few other fighters that were there involved, but it's another thing to actually have like actual events that would involve women's fighters on there. So we have to see if they're going to be able to include that as part of Riyadh season. Now you were talking about the upcoming Riyadh season card on February 22nd, but they're also planning on multiple other events that are coming up as part of Riyadh season. They wanted to get involved with having what it was. Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. They're planning on trying to get that fight and have that fight made. They also talked about the thing there with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, who a big deal fights, right? So with that, right, they want to see if they could have Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn in April over in the UK. And then it's been reported or kind of like mentioned there for May 3rd for Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia to be involved in separate fights in order to build their eventual rematch scheduled for October. So we could see in May 3rd, Devin Haney against an opponent. They're talking about maybe it'll be like Jose Carlos Ramirez or somebody. And then for Ryan Garcia, it could be Isaac Cruz. That's what I was told. It could be Isaac Cruz there for May 3rd. Even though he has a fight coming up here on February 1st, he could go right off that fight, back in the gym, and prepare for a fight against Ryan Garcia. So we could have some action there through Riyadh season come May 3rd. And then it said May 31st would be planned for the Golden Boy versus Matchroom 5v5. Of course, last year we had Queensberry versus Matchroom 5v5. Now they want to do another one of those things there where you can have 5 fighters on each side going up against each other for that. And also, it's been newsworthy. A bunch of people have talked about this. Yeah, September, Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. Yeah. I mean, there are a number of people that are for it, and there are a few people that are against it. But it's gonna happen. It's pretty much a mere formality. It's gonna happen there. So we're looking forward to that particular event coming up for September. But that's like the initial plans that are out there for Riyadh season so far. Other potential bouts that have been kind of like talked about through Turkey Al Sheikh that could be happening here later on down the line. But at least for now, we have like some type of a schedule there for Riyadh season. Brother Terrell, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I want to jump back to the top of what you said in regards to Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn fighting. For one, we know Conor Benn's been lifetime at 147. I think he has one fight at 154, right? I mean, he's a good fighter, right? And now, kind of questionable. Now he's passed. I know he's had a few fights here in the USA. Once he got after that suspension stuff like that over in the UK. But really, you think about it, how really good would be a Conor Benn Eubank Jr. fight? I mean, for one, it's going to be a size advantage, and I know that they're trying to put in a stipulation for a rehydration clause. I get that, was similar to what they do in the IBF. But really, how good is that fight? I mean, what would we actually see? I mean, granted, I know these guys don't like each other for whatever reasons they are. Just the typical boxing shit talking stuff that goes on all the time. And we know they got the family history with their famous fathers. But how good is this fight? I mean, because once again, Conor Benn, top 25 and 147 at best. And Eubank Jr., I'll give him top 20 at 160, 68, whatever he's at, at best. So really, how good is that fight? I mean, at that point, are we going to see just even with Eubank Jr. want to probably come in at 170 for that fight? He's still going to have a size advantage. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I know rivalries are good, but I don't think it's going to be an actually good fight. It might be a mismatch in that regard. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
You didn't say mismatch in who favor?
Eubank Jr.
Well,
Interesting take.
I mean, I think it's something where, the money is still there. This fight could have happened like a year ago, a couple years ago, and then you had the thing there with Conor Benn, and even after all of that, they still want to go ahead and revisit it because I guess in this particular sense, that's the most lucrative fight for both of those fighters. So You have it set up. Wembley Stadium, that scene in Wembley Stadium is crazy. Usually crazy for those fights that magnitude. So they'll go ahead and go forward with that fight. Like for Conor Ben, like you were saying there, he's around there at 147. He's had a couple of fights north of that. But if you look at the landscape there in the 147-pound division for Conor Ben, is it to the point where you say, hey, do you think that he is a viable contender for a world championship? Or do you want to go ahead and, delve into seeing if you could still have that fight with Chris Eubank Jr.? And then on the flip side with Chris Eubank, the middleweight division, just being honest, the middleweight division ain't really all too, good for the financials and all that type of thing there. And, facing someone like a Zanabek or maybe a Carlos Adames here for the time being, maybe doesn't work out for him right now. So if you had the opportunity to revisit a fight with Conor Ben, where you know that you're going to get a lot of money for that fight, and you feel like you're going to win that fight, then you might as well just go for it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. And one thing, what you talk about the possibility of Garcia and my man, Devin Haney taking a fight before getting them back together in the ring. I get that, but some things I think it should be straightforward. I mean, everybody, the public demands for they fight again and fight again next. So why take a chance on take away from the lackluster of them possibly losing to another opponent? Because we know what Isak Cruz brings. He come to knock somebody out. And with Ryan Shin, if he's face him, I would actually favor Isak Cruz in that fight. Right?
Wow.
I would.
Wow.
And I know he's wild and reckless, but that dude comes to fight, and unless Ryan can catch him with one of those crazy left hooks or something like that, that's well. Bottom line, don't even take the chance. Just give us Garcia and Haney next. That's what we want. Let the feud continue.
I get you on that front as far as like, hey, we want this fight next, then you should be able to provide that next. But yeah, Isak.
Damn, bro, I can't even freaking agree with you on that. No bias, but I think that like Garcia has like strength even beyond the left hook. That backhand of his is lethal.
Well, and on top of that, with Haney Garcia, was that supposed to be at 147 this time, or what? Or back in 140, or even a catchweight? And you got to talk about VADA testing, all that stuff that got to be worked out. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it probably could be. No, it's probably going to be north of 140 pounds because I doubt that either one of them could really, try to get back to 140 at this particular juncture. At least on the side there for Ryan Garcia, it's going to be a full year plus, for both of them to have a fight. And I think that's why they wanted to go ahead and schedule something for May 3rd before having the fight against each other so that they kind of like have something in the interim there. But yeah, for me with Isak Cruz, I mean, I just feel like he has a style, right, to try to get to the inside of his opponents, but it's what would be a good word for it? But I mean, it's like uncoordinated, and like a guy that's disciplined enough should be able to pick them apart. You know what I mean? And the thing with Ryan Garcia is he uses like his height and range to really, pick off his opponents like that. And he's faced a couple of fighters that are, a little bit short there. And the thing with Isak Cruz is just about, the same height as the big deal right here. So he'll be able to, go ahead and pick apart Isak Cruz. At least I feel like he should be able to do that. You know what I mean? So I think that in my book, if they go forward with Devin Haney versus Jose Carlos Ramirez and with Ryan Garcia versus Isak Cruz, those might be two showcase fights there for because I highly favor both Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia in both of those matches. Box Academic, hey, you got something on it?
Of course I do.
All right.
I would say my take is in between both of y'all, in between everyone, because you're right. The only thing I will say is that I think it will be a good fight, at least for a little bit, because I don't know if I've seen Ryan Garcia. The thing we know that works against Isak Cruz is to give him some type of movement and then deter him with like jabs when he's coming in to where he can get off them overhands and things like that.
Mhm.
Ryan is fast. Ryan gonna hit you with that hook, but I don't know if Ryan's feet are educated enough to like keep resetting Isak Cruz. They are more educated than Isak Cruz feet, which he probably could do that, but I don't know if Ryan, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not sure if Ryan is that much great of a, like foot and placement boxer to where he gonna keep Isak Cruz honest and like discombobulate him with
Exactly,
the movement.
exactly,
Like I
exactly.
still think Isak Cruz gonna be up on him, and Ryan's feet aren't like a matador type thing enough to like just to like
Just
mess with
maybe
Isak Cruz.
off to the side or something like that. Yeah.
Right, for
Yeah, like
12 rounds.
If
Mhm.
12
Isak
yeah,
gets in
rounds.
the pocket, he can get work, but I think Ryan's gonna keep him at a distance.
For 12 rounds and
Mm-hmm.
had that discipline.
and keep
I
him from a
mean,
distance doing
like,
what?
I mean, okay, so hear me out here. So Isak kind of has the same style as me. I am an in the pocket fighter. Like, if I can get in there because I am short, like, you're fucked. But I think that Ryan has that ring IQ to know, all right, let me just stick him with my jab. Let me keep him at a distance. He doesn't have my range. The left hook is going to do him wonders. But like I said prior, that backhand is going to kind of stun him a little bit. Unless Issa, like, I don't think Ryan's chin is glass, but unless he like just comes in brawling, I think that Ryan's gonna outbox him.
So the only thing I will say that's gonna make it interesting, because we know Isak keeps his hands up. He got the high guard, and then he sort of get low, and then he comes on the inside, then he start throwing these wild shots like that. I think Ryan will land the left hook, and he might even land, the right hand. He might even land that as well. But I just think that Isak will get it on the inside, and then when Isak hits him, it's gonna look very interesting. And then it's just gonna be a fight until it's not a fight.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get both of your takes. I just gotta go with Ryan on that one. I gotta stand by my boy. I don't believe he is juiced. I think that Ryan is just gonna shock the world.
Well, Ryan better win, but yeah, I wouldn't be
Better.
surprised if
He
Isak
is.
hurt him.
We're gonna manifest that he is, guys. He is.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if they're gonna, have both Ryan and Devin in separate fights. They're scheduled for May 3rd, number one, and then number two. Hopefully, they put it at a venue for American fight fans to be able to attend and enjoy that, because one of the things about this Riyadh season that has some fans, kind of like iffy, is that they have these big events announced, but where are these big events going to be? Now they say they're trying to have a number of these fights here in the States, so they're going to work towards that. But with that being said, we'll have to see how that's going to go ahead and work itself out there on that front, at least for what we have there for May 3rd. The Golden Boy versus Matchroom for May 31st. Yeah, I'm not all too certain if that's going to be here in the States, though, if they go ahead with that. And, for me, going into the thing there, of course, with the Canelo versus Crawford, yeah, that seems like that's a mere formality. It's just about the financials. I guess they got to work out the financials for it, and then once that happens, then it's a go for September. I don't know if it's going to be in mid September though. They say it might be a little bit earlier or whatever, but we'll see how that works itself out on that front.
So two questions on that. So if they do get the fight, as we kind of expect them to do make. Last week we saw Canelo actually meet in person with Turkey
Mm.
at the event last week and everything. So does Canelo have a fight in May, or does he just fast forward to September? And also, what weight does Crawford actually come in at for that fight?
Well, the thing is, at least from what I was told, initially, I don't see anything planned for Canelo on May. Of course, he usually has something scheduled for, Cinco de Mayo weekend. This time, like I said, would be around May 3rd. But for the time being, there's nothing that says that there's an opponent lined up for him for May 3rd or anything like that. So hey, maybe they just say, hey, this is the one fight for both Canelo and Crawford for 2025. I mean, I would at least want to have both of those fighters involved in some type of fight before they had this thing come up. But it looks like here for the time being they don't have that.
And you said September?
September. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, why? I'm not sure if that's a good idea for Canelo to not like be active in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he do fight somebody that he's supposed to like pummel.
Yeah, like a William Skull or somebody like that, but usually, like you said, he fights twice a year in comparison to Crawford, who only fights like once a year. So, I mean, yeah, he stays in the gym, but it's completely different. Like being in the gym and being in an actual fight, and that's one thing that you're gonna kind of like figure out here. Like you gotta once you get that fight out of the way, that pro debut out of the way, you want to make sure you get your second pro fight ASAP. But I mean, hey,
that's why I said I got a multi-fight deal, baby.
yeah.
Let's go.
So yep. So that's the thing that's gonna happen there. So we're definitely gonna get more details on that here too, real soon. So, but I mean, number of fight fans are talking about that like it's like the biggest fight in boxing and whatever it is, and but on the flip side, you still have fans that say, hey, Canelo, you could have still had something there with David Benavidez or whatnot, and it's like why in some cases, and just to be honest, on my sense, it's almost like why are you providing Terrence Crawford a bailout plan of sorts in reference to that? You know what I
I
mean?
would
But
love the Benavidez
hey,
versus Canelo, but I don't know where I would stand on that because they're both like really like my favorite fighters. And I know you guys are men, all right? So this statement is gonna probably turn you off. But whenever like I was like studying fucking fighting, it would be Canelo. So I gotta always stand with Daddy Canelo, but Benavidez is gonna give him a run for his money, point blank period.
I think a number of fight fans feel like Benavidez would be the one that would dethrone Canelo, but
Yup.
we won't be able to see that. So it looks like
Canelo,
that's
take the fight, Daddy. Thanks.
so that's why it looks like we have this upcoming thing for Canelo and Crawford. It looks like they're aiming for a bout in September. So that's what we got there in store. Other potential fights that were kind of like suggested. One is Teofimo Lopez versus Jerome Boots Ennis. That was mentioned by Turkey Al-Sheikh as something that he would want to make. I'm not sure how that's going to happen.
Yeah, Tio wouldn't dare take that fight.
Yeah, like I mean, that was initially offered to him before as a potential fight at 147, and that isn't necessarily out there. Shout out to my guy there, J Pylon in the building. Says good luck to you, Brooklyn, there for your pro debut. So yeah, shout out there with J Pylon there, man. And but yeah, the thing with I just don't know how that's going to work itself out there with Teofimo Lopez. He has the whole ordeal with Top Rank and looks like he's trying to get out of the deal with Top Rank, and he is like declined multiple fights. And some people talk about because Top Rank has this type of deal where if you fight and you're a world title day and you win, you get locked in with a few more fights. And it's like, well, Shakur Stevenson was able to not renew his deal with Top Rank after his fight last year, and Terrence Crawford didn't renew his deal with Top Rank, back in what 2021 or whatever it was. So you could be able to work out something with Top Rank to where you say, hey, okay, you got these many fights left. All right, let me have those fights, and then I'll be able to be a free agent and do what I want to do. But I guess Teofimo Lopez didn't necessarily want to go ahead and go on that front. So, hey, it is what it is with that one. But yeah, that's mainly what they got planned here for Riyadh season for this year. So looking forward to what happens with that. But that's mainly most of the major news that's out there in the boxing world there so far. Terrell, anything else there that you got?
No, I'm just look forward to another good solid year, and looking forward to following our friend who's on the podcast. Make sure you drop her stuff in our group. Just want
Yeah,
to check on her and just follow her as well. Definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll definitely be able to provide the information there, so you'll be able to follow it and all the stuff
Oh,
that she's doing
I
there.
found
So,
this for you. Are you ready for this? This
all
is
right,
how
go
you
ahead.
know I'm Team Cyborg all day.
Yep, there goes there goes of course a gear right there. So Chris Cyborg right there. So hey, like I said, she had that message there for Clarissa Shields. So I mean, I know Clarissa Shields is preparing for about here in a couple weeks, February 2nd against Danielle Perkins. There in Detroit. But after that, if she handles business there, that Cyborg fight.
She's
Hey,
ready.
you know.
Big Deal has her stamp of approval on that fight. I would love to see it.
And you
Yeah.
talk about Clarissa Cantankerous Shields, right?
Oh, oh no.
Hey, if it's easy for her, just take it. It's a money grab.
Oh man. Oh man. I don't think we can actually go further on that particular front there when it comes to this.
They call me the Big Deal for a reason.
No, no, no,
I'm
no, no, no. No, I'm not necessarily saying on your part. I mean, on our part there.
Oh, I know.
I
Every
mean,
time I say it in Twitter spaces and like Inevitables or Brunch Boxing or any of that stuff, they always debate me. But I'm gonna put my stamp of approval on that fight. I want to see it.
yeah. So I mean, I'll have to put on like the views of Big Deal or not necessarily the views of the boxing source. I don't really have to do
I am an independent person. Don't come for him. Come for my account. Hey pipeline, put butts in
that.
seats type shit.
Hey, listen, hey, if Clarissa, wants to go ahead and make her statement and have a response, the boxing source, hey, we're open and available. But I can contact a few people here to set that up or try to set it up and see if we can make it happen. So we'll see how
I'll
far.
walk my ass to Gleason's and I'll be like, "Hey Don, hold on. Can I talk to your girl? Hey Clarissa, take the fight against Cyborg. Thanks, boo."
Yeah, we'll definitely see how close we get to having that fight actually happen here in 2025. So definitely looking forward to see what happens with that and updates on that. But that being said, that's what I have here for this particular edition of the Boxing Source podcast. Once again, thanks to our special guest, the Big Deal Brooklyn Barwick, for joining us here for this particular episode. Of course, be sure to look out for March 1st pro debut. There, and of course, you are great panelists here, the boxing academic and the chef Terrell here joining us here for this particular episode. We'll have this episode on podcast form or audio form here a little bit later. For those that listen on iHeartRadio, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, all that type of stuff. So we're gonna have that out here for you. So look forward to that there.
Hey, one thing real quick for our friend. Upon our fight week, when she leaves her hotel, make sure you watch out for people trying to throw paint on you.
Oh yeah. Hey, but she she's had various experiences, of course, being part of the influencer circuit. So
I've been jumped. I've gotten things thrown at me. I've been booed. I'm ready. I pull up with a security guard now, and Bones and AJ are not gonna let shit happen to me. Don't piss off Mr. Adams, bro. He is a heavy hitter.
I don't want to know no information, but like some random people jumped you.
Yeah. Well, no, it was my old team. So yeah.
Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry.
On some New York shit. It's on some ghetto shit. I ain't about that. I will do controlled violence in the ring, but nah, don't come for me in the streets. Nah, I'm good. I'm 4'11", not the one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So definitely there we're looking forward to what's happening coming up on March 1st there with the big deal Brooklyn Barwick, and here for this particular episode here on January 19th, 2025, we bring this Boxing Source podcast to a close. And usually, well, I didn't say this at in the shows, but now I'll put it in, man. The point of boxing is to hit, and I can hit, not to send and trade. On that note, I'm out. Have a good evening, everybody.
Later.